Gracious. OBS out here tripping. Let me see what animals I can eat today, know what I'm saying? That only been seen once as a southern black brother. I'm gonna go crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold on. Why is everything dumb laggy? I ain't even got CapCut open.
Never to be seen again.
Alright, come on.
Creatures so rare, the only proof they existed is a single specimen. From single sightings in remote jungles to 16-foot whales. Today, we're diving into 5 more animals that have only been seen once, starting with the spade-toothed whale. A full-sized whale, something
Thought that was
that
a
grows
dolphin.
to around 16 or 17 feet long, and no one has ever seen one alive. Everything we know about this animal comes from individuals that have washed up dead on beaches. And get this, there have only been about 7 confirmed specimens ever found to date. And these specimens have mostly been turning up around New Zealand and one all the way over in Chile. The very first record goes all the way back to 1872, when someone found a lower jaw on a remote island. And even then, scientists didn't realize what they had, since they thought it belonged to a completely different species of whale. Then, over the course of a few years, more and more bones started washing up on the beaches around New Zealand, and it wasn't until scientists actually ran DNA tests that they realized all of these remains belonged to the same species, a whale that no one had ever seen in the flesh. And then, in 2010, something crazy happened. When a mother and calf washed up dead on a beach in New Zealand. It was only then when DNA testing came back and confirmed those were spade-toothed whales. Scientists literally had the animal and didn't even know what it was.
I wonder how deep
Now,
they
in
go.
terms of what the cetacean actually looks like, it's got that classic beaked whale shape that's built for deep diving. But the
You keep
weirdest
saying beaked whale shape. That's dolphin shape. What are you talking about?
part are the teeth. The males have these huge spade-shaped teeth that stick out from the lower jaw, hence its namesake, and they can get to around 9 inches long.
Great.
Scientists believe that these whales use these teeth for fighting other males down in the depths, which is just crazy to think about. And speaking of deep, that's probably the reason we've never seen one alive. Beaked whales are some of the best divers on the planet.
Like I said,
they can stay
come
underwater
on.
for hours and dive to depths of nearly 10,000 feet, which is almost like 2 miles down in complete pitch black darkness. So
We can go 10,000 feet, right? We got machines that can go that deep, I'm pretty sure.
the species spends most of its life down there.
Planes and stuff be 20, 30, 40,000 feet up.
It
Come
makes
on.
perfect sense why
That's
we've
light work.
never seen one alive. The most recent specimen, found just 2 years ago, was the first time scientists could properly study a fresh, intact specimen. And even then, they were still figuring things out. When they dissected it, the scientists found things like 9 separate stomachs with squid beaks inside, which all pointed to the whale being a deep-sea hunter.
That boy been
But still,
eating.
they were still left with
I'll
no
eat some
real
squid, boy.
answers about how this whale actually lives. And that's what makes this so crazy. We're not talking about some tiny fish or insect. This is a massive whale, and we still know almost nothing about it. So, with so little sightings, the question is it still out there? Well, 100%, since they are such cryptic deep-water animals living so deep, and the fact that they're quite intelligent animals, I'm fairly certain that somewhere in the deep South Pacific, there's
Intelligent aren't dolphins intelligent? I'm telling you, bro. Y'all, I don't know why y'all gave that dolphin a whale name. That's a dolphin.
probably a whole population of these things just living their lives completely unnoticed. And
I guess because dolphins just straight up one regular size. Know what I'm saying, bro? Hey, what them boys just say? Boy, 17 feet. He's 17 feet, so boom, he gotta be a whale.
we finally see one alive,
Dolphin's
the
probably about
spade-toothed whale
6.
remains a whale we've only ever seen after it was already dead. Next up, a shark that looks more like a stingray and might be one of the rarest sharks on Earth. Meet the Philippines angel shark. Now, angel sharks are already some of the most alien sharks in the world. They've got these flattened pancake-like bodies with massive wing-like pectoral fins that make them look
Just because of how this shark look, you're getting packed up. Just, hey, well, I'm catching that body right here, man. For Steve Irwin, boy, yeah, you're dying. I'm gonna be honest, boy. You look just like a stingray. You gotta die. Then I'm gonna eat him. I'm gonna eat this shark. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I speak for all Southerners too. We're gonna get our little get back for Steve. Then we eating them.
more
Yeah,
like rays
we
than
eating that
sharks.
for sure.
They hunt by sitting still rather than endlessly moving and suction prey into their huge mouths with razor-sharp teeth. It's this sitting and hiding in the sand that makes
Gracious.
this rare
My
animal prey
gosh.
so hard to find.
Wide
Telling you
mouth.
from experience of having dove with them in Japan and in California. Witnessing their behavior, I'll tell you, they are so fascinating. They're super chill, perfectly camouflaged, and then suddenly lightning fast when they strike. Ask me how I know, because our friend Andy Murch actually got bitten by a clouded angel shark when we were there. But
Yeah, let that shark try to bite me. Huh. Let that shark try to bite me. Bah! Boy, right up in some grease. As matter of fact, right into the oven. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm slimming back down, boy. I'm almost there.
while these species may be relatively abundant, the Philippines angel shark is only known from a single specimen, and this was a small, immature female measuring just over a foot long. It had this greenish brown body covered in darker spots, outlined in pale edges, with subtle black markings near its dorsal fins. For an angel shark, this is pretty standard camouflage that's designed to help it completely disappear on the
Oh, I
sea
thought it
floor.
was rare.
This lone individual was discovered in 1995 on the 23rd of September during a deep sea trawl off the coast of Luzon in the Philippines at depths of over 1,200 feet. That's way down on the outer continental shelf in a dark, cold environment that we barely ever explore. At first
Why
glance,
not?
scientists actually thought it was just another similar looking species, the Taiwan angel shark. But years later, after taking a
I wouldn't even
closer
touch
look at
that.
its features, such as the spacing of its spiracles, the shape of its fins, and a few subtle differences, they realized it was a completely new species of angel shark, officially described for the first time in 2011. But sadly, since then, it's been very, very quiet. There hasn't been a second specimen found, and no one has ever seen it. But does the fact that it hasn't been seen for so long mean it's extinct? Not really.
Them boys down
Notoriously,
there.
deep-sea species like this are very hard to study. And to make things worse, Philippines angel sharks live in the ocean thousands of feet down, where very few surveys actually take place. And angel sharks by nature are masters of camouflage, and like we said before, they literally bury themselves in the sea floor, leaving just their eyes exposed.
Yeah, they
So
would have got
even if
me.
they are down there, we could be easily missing them, but at the same time,
I be
deep-sea
missing.
trawling
Hold
and
on.
longlining
I
is
be missing my phone. It be in my hand and on my desk 24/7. I ain't gonna lie to you.
real concern.
I can have my glasses on. I'm still missing something.
Since these sharks live right in the zones where fishing nets drag across the sea floor, and if a population was already small to begin with, it wouldn't take much to wipe it out before we even realized it was there. If we were ever going to find the shark again, it would probably be through deep sea surveys using ROVs or BRUVs, or even another accidental troll catch. But until then, the Philippines angel shark remains one of the most mysterious creatures ever caught, a shark seen once and never again. Next up, a highly venomous snake
Kinda
that was
mid.
discovered completely by accident.
That might be one of the. That might be the one and only thing that I can eat on this list.
And has only ever been seen once.
I don't know if I want to eat a snake. I'm gonna keep it a
This
buck.
is one of the rarest pit vipers on the planet.
I'm not
Found in
eating
the
that.
forests of northeast India. Meet the Arunachal pit viper.
Oh, no, absolutely
While
not.
This snake might not look like anything too crazy.
What are you talking about? Look at that. Man, no. Boy, hey, I'll piss myself. I see this dumb mess ever. I can see it up in a cage. A container. Boy, see-through. I see this. Hey, I'm done. Piss. Hey, yeah, running down my leg, boy. It's over with.
If you look at its
You gotta shoot this thing dead.
top, it's got this brownish, dull coloration that blends perfectly into leaf litter on the forest floor. But along its sides and belly, it's got some glossy, striking reddish-orange color. It's such a weird contrast, and if you ask me, being a herpetologist, it's a pretty sick
What is
looking
that?
snake. It gets up to around 26 inches long, and
Very
like
sus.
most pit vipers, this species is also highly venomous, having a potent hemotoxic venom that causes severe pain, bleeding, and tissue damage. The story of its discovery
It only been seen once. There is a little anti-venom, right? And that's what it's called, anti-venom? It only been seen once. I mean, I hope we got it.
is just as fascinating. Back in the early 2000s, during a biodiversity survey in Arunachal Pradesh, a researcher named Rohan Pandit and a local guide from the Bungan tribe were hiking through a
Bungan.
steep forest near a village.
Bungan.
All of a sudden, they spotted this brown snake sitting in the leaf litter. At first, they thought it was just another viper, but when they looked at it properly, it didn't quite match anything they'd ever seen before. So, like any sane biologist would, they collected it, brought it back, and took a proper
Y'all
look.
gotta stop
And
showing me
that's
that
when they
pic.
realized that it was something truly different. After detailed analysis measuring its scales, studying its anatomy, and even running genetic tests, lo and behold, the scientists confirmed that this was an entirely new species of pit viper. And here's the craziest part. This
What's the
was
white
first
part?
new pit viper species discovered from India in over 70 years. That's just insane. But since that one sighting, which is almost 10 years ago now, it still remains the only one scientists have ever found. We don't know how many of these snakes exist, we don't fully understand its behavior, and we don't even know if they're ground-dwelling. But I guess you could say that the good news is that the forest where it was found is still relatively intact. It's
I don't care nothing about that forest up in India with that snake. I just know if I see that snake, I'm shooting him. I don't care about no Indian snake.
incredibly steep, hard to access, and only lightly disturbed by humans.
I wouldn't
Which
be out
means
there.
There's a very real chance that more of these
That'd be the
snakes
one time I, hey, light a match. Boom. Know what I'm saying? Hey, hope every time lightning strikes somewhere up in this little forest, it kill them snakes.
are out there, but just that no one is crazy enough to go there and look for one. And honestly, that's probably the reason we haven't seen it again.
Coyote
Pit
Peterson.
vipers are masters of staying hidden, and that's exactly like the copperheads, cottonmouths, and rattlesnakes that we have in the U.S.
But we got a lot of them down here in South Carolina, boy.
You could literally walk past one and never even realize it was there. If we're ever going to find the species again, it'll come down to more surveys in these remote forests, slowly flipping leaf litter, scanning the ground, maybe even working with local communities.
Hey, I was outside in the at the old crib, kicking around leaves, right, looking for pecans, cause we did have a pecan tree at the old crib. And there was a snake. I thought it was the same snake that my pops killed like last week. It wasn't. I kicked it. The thing, mind you, it was coiled up too. I kicked it, thing started moving, boy. Doom. I ran back up in there. Ran right back up in that crib.
Land better than anyone. But until then, the Arunachal pit viper remains one of the most mysterious snakes in the entire world, seen once and then gone. Next up, a tiny, bizarre-looking seahorse that no one has ever seen alive in the wild, and might be one of the strangest seahorses that's ever been discovered
Pokemon.
somewhere
If you know, you know.
off the coast of Australia. Meet the bullneck seahorse.
That boy goated.
Now, seahorses are already pretty weird looking, but this one takes it to another level. Fully grown, they're only about 2 inches long, but what makes this one stand out is its shape. It's got this unusually wide, thick neck, a short, stubby face, and a body that looks quite off compared to other seahorses. In fact, scientists even named it Minotaur because of that oversized head compared to its tiny body.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. If I see a seahorse, I'm using this thing as bait. I have to. Look at him. I have to.
Believed to have a yellow-orange coloration, which scientists think help it to blend into deep-sea coral or sandy seabeds. And like other seahorses, it likely uses its tail to wrap around things like corals or seaweed, anchoring itself in place as currents pass by. But here's the thing, that's all just educated guesses, because no one has ever actually seen one in its natural habitat. The only known specimens were collected off the coast of Eden, New South Wales, Australia, by deep-sea trawling nets. They were officially described in 1997, and since those few individuals were brought up, nothing. Now, the running theory among scientists is that this seahorse lives over 3,200 feet deep, and maybe even deeper. That's well beyond where most divers go, and when you combine that with the fact that this thing is absolutely tiny, it's easy to see.
Oh, nah. Hey. 2 is cool. Know what I'm saying? According to the women, that doesn't seem my 2. They love it.
How it could just completely slip under the radar. However, scientists fear that deep-sea trawling has heavily impacted parts of the ocean.
Of course.
Region. And if this species depends on specific habitat like coral beds or untouched seabeds, then those areas could have easily been damaged before we even knew the seahorse existed. What's really interesting, though, is that local fishing communities in Australia actually remember this animal.
Hey, I be watching my boy Field Days. Hey, that's one cold Australian brother over there, man. Watching his little catch and cooks, his 3-day survivals. That man is a goated YouTuber. I'll be watching his vids 24/7. Know what I'm saying? Hey, I would fish down here in Australia. What's some thing called? The Groves? I will go to the Groves just so I can catch some crab too and eat them. Shout out to Field Days, boy. Go to YouTuber, man.
Fishermen
Love
claim they saw it decades ago, describing that same thick neck and short snout. And that's kind of crazy because there's barely anything about the species in scientific literature, yet people still recognize it. So how
mess y'all got going on?
even find it again? Well,
look like
it's not
Futurama.
easy. you'd need to use things like ROVs, BRUVs, maybe even eDNA testing. But the hopeful part is that other deep sea species and even seahorse relatives have had similar stories. The ruby sea dragon, for example, went unseen for years until scientists actually went looking for it properly, and then suddenly they found it. So maybe just
This look like a demon. I'm not gonna lie, if y'all ain't tell me what this was, I'll be like, yeah, that's a demon. Go ahead, pray to God.
maybe the bullneck seahorse is still out there.
What's had to zoom in for this though, ain't it? Them boys ain't tell us the size of it.
Until then,
This is 2 inches.
this little tiny seahorse remains as a species that's only ever been pulled up by trawlers but never seen in the wild. Guys,
Yeah,
you
them
know
fish
that I
was eating
love
that.
rare and extinct animals. That's why I do videos like this. But I also love just generally having adventures. And now that I'm a dad with 2 young boys,
Had to chill.
I like sharing those adventures with my family. Now, I don't want to plaster my kids all over the internet, which is why I've started an amazing
You're a smart brother. You're a smart brother. 'Cause I'm telling you, I was on TikTok scrolling. Black woman posted, I think it was a black father posted his daughter of how the mother dressed her, and it was like 32,000 bookmarks, 32,000 saves. Yeah, watch out.
Patreon where some of
That
the
was
most
watch
incredible
out. Come on, man. 32,000 people saving your baby, a TikTok of your baby. Now, mind you, there are some sick people out there. I wouldn't. Now you can post your baby on Facebook. Don't do it on no TikTok, bro.
adventures that my family and I go on together are available. Check out the Patreon. It is wholesome, family viewing, very educational, highly
There's one
about
more.
family life on the road. I take my family to. Now this next
Hey,
animal
shout out to him too, cause this is a good YouTuber. I ain't gonna lie. First time hearing her, bro.
might be one of the most mysterious monitor lizards on the planet. Meet Zug's monitor.
I know that boy aggressive. I know he is. I gotta see him.
This is a species of monitor lizard that's found on the island of Halmahera in Indonesia, in a place that's already been known for hiding some seriously weird and unique reptiles. And
No.
like most monitor lizards, you'd probably be expecting this species to be quite active and maybe even seen by locals from time to time. But this one is different. Zug's monitor is only known from a single specimen, which was a juvenile that was found all the way back in 1980. And get this, the specimen wasn't even recognized or identified for that fact. It actually sat in a museum for many, many years until scientists later realized that this wasn't anything they'd ever seen before. And when you look at it, it's actually pretty cool looking. The only known individual measured 14.2 inches long. But since that one specimen was collected
That's a small one.
40 years ago, there's been basically nothing. No confirmed sightings in the wild, no photos, and scientists still don't know what it eats, how it lives, or even where exactly it spends most of its time. But the most interesting thing is that there has been a couple of reports coming in from locals claiming that they've seen something similar in different parts of the island. But these reports have never been verified. And that's actually crazy when you think about it. This is a monitor lizard, an active lizard on an island where they've potentially been collected not just for science, but for the pet trade, and for them to completely disappear like this.
Y'all boys be pet trading monitor lizards? Mind you, I want to eat an iguana. I wouldn't dare be around nothing like that. I see a lizard like that, boy. Hey, mind you, a South Carolina lizard, that's cool. I used to see him on my grandma's porch 24/7. Try to catch one. I done packed some of them up too, but these right here, no.
It's honestly kind of hard to even wrap your head around. But then again, the island of Halmahera is covered in dense tropical rainforest that's full of steep terrain, remote valleys, and areas that are still barely explored.
And that's why we ain't never gonna find it. Hey, stuff still barely explored. Like, bro, we got all this taken and stuff is still barely explored. All this money that people getting and stuff is still barely explored. Man, if you don't take y'all tails down there through that forest and find King Kong.
And that's what makes this one so interesting. Because unlike the animals we've talked about before, this isn't a place that's been heavily developed or completely overrun by humans. So all the usual reasons we see animals disappear don't really apply here. And because of that, it actually makes it a lot harder to believe that this animal just simply went extinct. But over the years, scientists have actually discovered multiple new monitor lizard species in this region alone. So the idea that something like this could still be hiding out there is still not that far-fetched. If we're ever going to find Zug's
I'll shoot
monitor
it.
again, which I think is very realistic, it would take proper field surveys where you're working with local communities and tribes, not just setting up trail cameras, but trekking and expeditioning through the jungle to look for signs of this monitor before potentially catching one at night or noosing it. But until that day comes where the expedition goes out, Zug's monitor remains one of the strangest reptile mysteries out there, only seen once and never again. Hey, I hope you guys want to watch more than this video once and never again, so if you do, please subscribe to the channel because it helps us.
You heard him. Please subscribe to the channel. Hey, it's a good channel too. What's bro name? Boris Gallant. Goated. Not gonna lie. I'm a sub too. That's my type of content. And hey, don't watch TV no more. Steve Irwin. All them boys, Mountain Men, all them shows gone. So I gotta be tapped in for real.